It's the dreaded start of daylight savings time, which means get ready to lose an hour of sleep and fight with your stove or microwave timer in your kitchen to reflect the correct time. Hey everyone, Bryn with On The Clock here, and you all know what time of year it is. In the spring, we turn the clocks forward by 1 hour, and in the fall, we turn the clocks back by an hour. In the southern hemisphere, the reverse of this happens. So why do we do this odd thing where we gain or lose an hour of sleep each year? Not just once, but twice. The thought was, by adjusting the clocks that we use to navigate everyday life, the time that the sun rises and falls is later in the day, which gives us more time to spend in the sunlight, meaning we could spend more time after work doing the things and activities that we loved and using less artificial lighting because of the extra hour of sunlight in the summer. The idea of daylight savings time was first proposed in 1895 by George Hudson, an entomologist from New Zealand, for similar reasons. He also felt in his personal life that he wanted more sunlight after work so he could catch more bugs and insects for further study. So that's how daylight savings came to be, all because Hudson wanted more time to research his bugs. So Hudson proposed this idea to the Wellington Philosophical Society, and while many of his peers could see the benefits of changing the clocks, a majority of them laughed him out of the room that such an outrageous claim of more sunlight in the evening would make any difference at all. It wasn't until 1916, during World War I, that daylight savings time was implemented by the Germans. This was a way for them to save energy and coal consumption. The thought was that by allowing the sun to set later in the evening, energy consumption from things like artificial lighting would decrease because of the extra hour of sunlight, allowing them more resources to fight the enemy during wartime. This started the trend of implementing daylight savings time throughout various parts of the world because of similar hopes. Over time, many countries, states, and territories have done away with daylight savings because of its efficacy. Today, daylight savings has sparked a debate on how beneficial it really is. Researchers on both sides have found that daylight savings can either increase or decrease energy consumption by about 1%. So you have to ask yourself, is the 1% really worth it? Many against daylight savings will argue the ramifications of altering our body's natural sleep cycle twice a year, which throws off your circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is your natural body clock that helps you facilitate what time of day you go to bed and what time you wake up, and the sunlight plays a role in driving this internal clock. Studies have shown that the Monday after daylight savings begins and the week following, sleep deprivation not only increases, but so does the amount of car accidents, heart attacks, strokes, and workplace accidents, all increase substantially. With the help of modern-day time tracking, employee productivity decreases as well the week following. This costs businesses hundreds of thousands of dollars and hours wasted on inefficient work. A majority of the world does not participate in daylight savings time, and in the United States, only 48 states still follow it. Oregon, Idaho, California, Maine, New Hampshire, Maryland, and Florida are also considering doing away with it completely. Hawaii and most parts of Arizona, including the U.S. territories of American Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, Northern Mariana Islands, and the U.S. Virgin Islands all do not observe daylight savings time. And this makes complete sense, that most tropical places do not change their clocks throughout the year. If you think about how the Earth is shaped, the closer you are to the equator, the more hours of sunlight you get, and the further you go from the equator, the less hours of sunlight you get. So what we know is that daylight savings started out with good intentions, with the hopes of giving an extra hour of sunlight in the evening, depending on where you lived, and it may save or cost us about 1% of energy consumption each year. But for something that should be as simple as time tracking, daylight savings makes this incredibly complicated. At On The Clock, we offer easy and accurate employee time tracking that aims to keep it simple as it should be. Check us out at ontheclock.com and tell us in the comments below which side of the daylight savings time debate you're on.